What's up, guys? Sub-Zeri here, back for another VOD review. Before we even start the VOD, there is something incredibly important here, incredibly important to not only the VOD, but just, I mean, to even life itself, honestly.
And that is...
I got a cat on my lap. You can't see her little face. Let me see if I can turn in such a way that you can see her little face. There she is. You want to look at the camera, Luna? There she is. All right. I think I'm going to keep cat cam on, honestly, during the VOD. And you guys can just check out the cat. But okay, actually, what we want to focus on for this VOD, we're going to have no face cam for me. So you just have the Luna cam here. This is Luna. This is my girlfriend's cat, who she has said that I can't say that this is my cat because I don't pay any of the vet bills and I don't clean her litter box, which very fair. This is my girlfriend's cat, really, but she loves me, doesn't she? The real thing to focus on in this VOD from the start, actually, is that this is a prismatic lobby. Echo finds the perfect timeline where all augments are prismatic. This is hugely influential. Also, today we were watching KevinParker. KevinParker, a really strong EU West player. This is, I think a lot of people heard of Kevin when he came in the top 8 at Vegas, made it to final lobby there, yeah, at the Vegas Open. And, you know, Kevin's just always been a really solid European player, has done well in a lot of competitions. Also, don't pay attention to my shoes and my backpack in the back there because it makes my room look a little cluttered. But in any case, this is KevinParker playing a line that I think is absolutely genius from this position. We get a pretty nice, actually, like, Rebel start here. And yeah, Kevin looking at, like, all these Rebel options that we can hold. But he's also, like, He's torn between a million different things here, actually. He's playing the Tristana here for Tristana opener. He's playing, you know, these... he also ends up picking up the Zeri here for potentially Zeri with the full Gwinsus here. And he ends up actually selling, not actually buying the full Rebel setup here, which I think he regrets a little bit because we have Rebel set up with Rebel Crown, which would be really nice here. But it's all good because it allows us to lean into a different line, a line that we wouldn't have ever been able to play if we hadn't picked up the Zeri and if we hadn't taken this first augment here. So let's look at first augment. Rebel Crown, Hedge Fund, Build-A-Bud. I mean, Build-A-Bud's buffed. You know, maybe you have some slams for it. It's kind of cool. But he actually really quickly rolls into investment strategy, and Kevin starts to get an idea that I think is really cool in this spot here. So investment strategy, we do a quick scout. We see already that this player is playing investment strategy, and they actually call Renata here. So it's going to be a Renata game from them. So we can't... you know, we really don't want to try to contest them in Renata. But Kevin says, you know what? I have a Zeri already. I have a Gwinsu that I can slam immediately. What if we just said, you know what? We are going to play a Zeri reroll game from here. We actually have 2 Watcher. We can fit the Vladimir this round, but he doesn't end up getting it in time just because he spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the augment is. So, hey, we can get the Vladimir in next round, and hopefully, no harm, no foul. He ends up actually winning this fight, though. Honestly, I think Kevin in an ideal world would have actually lost this fight because his board is still not really strong enough to win streak here. But in any case, Gwinsu slammed with these Watchers already. He can also just now fit in the Vladimir here and make 20 gold, which is fantastic. So yeah, I mean, the spot is looking really nice for Kevin. And there's another wrinkle to this that Kevin actually DM'd me and said, like, hey, I played this really cool game. You should check it out. And like, I took a quick perusement of it, and I was like, you know what? I have to VOD review this game because this is a comp that plays really well from triple prismatic lobby, and Kevin realized this game, and I think it's so smart to realize that. You know, in the past we've had portals where we guarantee certain augment setups. You know, we had like the decrescendo, it used to be called, where you go like prismatic and then gold and then silver augment, and so a lot of people were like, oh, you know what, I can play for Recombob as my 4-2 augment, play for a 3-star, and then if I hit Recombob 4-2, I just win the game. And that had to be removed from the game because it was so broken. I think maybe this isn't exactly the same situation because, you know, this is a comp that you kind of, you know, everybody can't play for this comp, but this is a fantastic comp to play in triple prismatic lobbies, and the main reason why is because there's one augment in specific that is really fantastic in this comp, and we'll talk about it because we will get it later into the game, and so I really want to give it its due credit there. But think about it, there's a prismatic augment that we really want in this comp, and so I think it makes a lot of sense to potentially play for, you know, if you have a comp that spikes insanely hard with a prismatic augment, then hey, maybe we should play this in prismatic, a prismatic party, it used to be called. We actually get a fantastic carousel into a fantastic shop here. We get the Scar with Rod. Rod really nice here. Can be another Gwinsus for Zeri. Can be something like a Gunblade. And, you know, it can even be like a tank item for Scar here. So really fantastic. Wow, I'm actually pretty surprised by this idea from KP here, from Kevin, saying, you know what? I'm going to sell the Vlad here in order to make 30 gold because I care more about scaling up stuff like my Scar and my Zeri and my like Amumu and stuff rather than, caring about actually like keeping that Vlad that actually had scaled up. Kind of an interesting call here. But yeah, to say, you know what, making the 30 is actually more important. This puts us up to 39 here, which would have actually allowed us to make 40 had we not gotten the Scar immediately, which now that we have this Scar, we are just saying, okay, you know what, we're going to hold all this stuff. It's so funny how she like gets comfy on my lap because like she's pretty unstable. Like if I move my legs at all, she would just like, I don't know. She would wobble around. She's a little wobbly, but very, very good. Very kitty. She doesn't really like when I pet down here usually, but I'm surprised she lets me keep my hand down here, but you know, she's being a good kitty. But in any case, we make it to the end of the stage. We end up actually picking up a win, which is pretty rough. We do pick up Scar 2 here, which, wow, the units are really flowing at this point. We pick up a sniper that we can maybe fit in at level 6 with like a 4-watcher. 2 sniper setup here. Oh no, oh no, it's over. It's over. The cat cam is over. I think I moved my leg too much. She ran away. All right, now you have to be happy with little old me. Actually, she wants to go out, so give me, I mean, look at this, man. Look at these items. We get the Gwinsu. This was why we ended up taking the rod in the first place, so that we could play for another Gwinsu. Is the second gonna go above? You don't want to go outside? Okay, go out. But yeah, that's the reason why we took the rod in the first place. We end up actually with a lot of rods and tiers in this spot. But once again, like I said, the tier can be frontline items, the rod can be frontline, or it can be frontline, it can be backline. Like overall, I think Kevin's quite happy with his items here. But we're going into our second augment here, and maybe we'll see that augment that I was talking about that is just oh so influential in this comp. Maybe if you watch some of my other VODs, you know about it. Yeah, Kevin immediately sees Anger Issues and he slams this augment. He takes this augment. He does not reroll a single time here, which is hilarious, but absolutely true. This is the single best augment for this comp. You can see it actually in the statistics, where if you just go to Explorer and you put in like Zeri and say like Star level 3, and you put in like Scar and stay like Scar level 3, and you go to builds here, Gwinsu, sort by delta here, Gwinsu, disgusting delta here, minus 1.08. So if you have a Scar 3 with, in this situation, it's Anger Issues, you're averaging a 2.58, a Zeri 3, a 2.77. And look, like these units don't average that well. Like both of them together, hitting them both 3-star normally, which is already a feat, averages a 3.6, which is great. Obviously, hitting 2 units 3 stars, averaging 3.6, you'd take that all day. But if you can get this augment and you can get them both to triple Gwinsus, that is in the 2.6s, 2.7s. So you can see why Kevin wanted to play this comp, and I think it's a really, really cool discovery to make that, this is one of those comps that spikes with an augment more than almost any other comp. Having specifically this augment in this comp just allows you to spike a pretty disgusting amount, honestly. So I don't know. I think it's a really, really cool discovery from Kevin to say, okay, you know what? I get this Anger Issues. It was also buffed this patch, like I talked about, buffed Anger Issues, which honestly, in this comp specifically, like this is the only comp that really uses Anger Issues well. It didn't really need to be buffed. This guy is, wow, 6 Enforcers with a Sevika. That is pretty insane. But it didn't really, I think a lot of really strong players have made the note that like this augment did not really need to be buffed at all. It's just not really playable in any comp besides this one. Man, moving the camera over so that I could get the cat cam really messed up with my, oh my god, wait, look at this, look at the Zeri, go! Look at her go, she's just flying around the board with Firelight, destroying the Elise. Man, okay, I gotta sit up and share. Item we took off carousel doesn't really matter here. Really just want to take either a good unit or good gold here. There's a Zeri on carousel. That sounds good to me. Also a Kog'Maw on carousel, but I mean, I think I would definitely pay 1 gold to get a Zeri over a Kog'Maw here to go for my Zeri 3, who's going to be our main carry Zeri in this game. Also another Scar, just we're hitting everything here. We get the sniper in, make another Gwinsu's. That is probably going to go straight onto Scar. I love it. So that we actually have some frontline. It has certainly in the past felt quite underwhelming to put Gwinsu's onto frontliners. I think it definitely, especially perusing the stats, looks a lot better now after the buffs to the Anger Issues, and also just, stats say triple Gwinsu Scar is very good. They probably say that triple Gwinsu Scar is a better delta than triple Gwinsu Zeri because you're going to itemize Scar after Zeri. You're never going to go, don't look at those stats and say, oh, I should put all my Gwinsus on Scar before Zeri. Like, because it says it's better to have triple Guinsus on him. No, you should look at that and say, oh, okay, they say that because once you have triple Guinsus on Zeri, then you're getting to triple Guinsus on Scar, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, the spot for Kevin looks fantastic. We're on a 3 streak here. Scar's just doing a ton of work, buying time. And Zeri with the triple Guinsus. I mean, the damage she's outputting, 6.3k. And that was a fight that was like 18 seconds long or something like that. Like, she just absolutely destroys people with this Guinsu setup. So this game's gonna be a treat to watch. And there's some other really, really cool stuff that happens in this game. Don't want to spoil anything, but it is a really, really fun game to watch. So we're just gonna chill here. Am I crazy? Does investment strategy still? I thought they got rid of, because he's saying it's 70 gold here, but I thought investment strategy, they got rid of the part where it makes you 70. Oh no, okay, they still included investment strategy too. What am I thinking of? They got rid of it on the shimmer scale augments. That's what it is. But okay, we're gonna make these 2 items. Obviously, these are gonna turn into Guinsus. All right. I mean, this is actually an interesting call from Kevin, but I think it makes a lot of sense. 1 Guinsu cog and then another Guinsu onto the Scar here. The idea being, I think, I don't know what Kevin's logic is here 100%, but I think the idea also, I think we just fought 8 Enforcer. This guy's Caitlyn already. That's disgusting. Comp's not so broken that I can beat that. But I think the idea here is that, like, the first Guinsu on Kog'Maw is really, really influential, right? Getting that first Guinsu is going to allow him to start stacking up, actually, like, getting to a point where he's going to start repeat casting and doing a lot of stuff. The second Guinsu is, you know, it's marginal. The second Guinsu is not as impactful as that first one. So like, you're kind of like, whatever on the second Guinsu, but that first one is really important. So we throw the first Guinsu on a Kog'Maw, and then the Guinsus after that can go on a Scar. I think it's a really, really smart way to play it. All right, next augment here. Sword Overflow is kind of funny in that you get 2.5 Guinsus. The downside is that you're not going to have any BF swords, so probably not. Call to Chaos could certainly be humorous as well, but Kevin gets an augment here that I think is really, really fun to play around in this spot, and that is, we have there are a lot of options here. What do you think? What do you think you would take here? The answer ends up being sponging here. This is 5 Guinsus in as long as we have enough units to throw Guinsu's Rage Blades on, which is just, I mean, 1, it's hilarious to watch, and 2, seems quite broken. You need to make sure that you don't have, because it's units with 1 or fewer items. So you need to make sure, yeah, he removes this Guinsus at the last second. He needs to make sure that the Scar does not have more than 1 on there, but he wants all the units that he cares the most about to have at least 1 Guinsu on there, so that they can get to double Guinsus. But this means that his board here, I mean, how many Guinsus is that? He has 6 plus, he has 11 Guinsus, I think. Is that right? No, more than 11, actually. He's got, no, he does have 11. 6 plus 5 is 11. Quick maths. So yeah, he gets 11 Guinsus from his current setup plus this augment, which is just hilarious to watch here. This guy double Black Rose, so Kevin probably gonna maul it a little bit. Also does end up moving the Kog'Maw over to the other edge. I tend to like this positioning because, I mean, it doesn't matter for sponging all of our 5 unitemized, you know, untriple Guinsus units. The Zeri obviously can't get, I mean, a 4th Guinsu, but even if she had 2 Guinsus, she can't get another one. It's only units with 1 or fewer items, remember? So, you know, those 5 units are always going to get Guinsus. I don't actually know how it prioritizes if you have more than 1 unit. Maybe we'll see this game. But yeah, I mean, going into Carousel here, as far as stuff that we really want, I don't think there's, I mean, there's a Scar. There is a Scar that we can pick up. So we can be pretty excited about that. That's our 7th Scar. And so, yeah, actually a lot to be excited about in Kevin's spot here. The only downside to his spot is we're getting a little bit low. I mean, 50 HP. It's not the most that I've ever seen. Picks up the Echo here. And that just kind of incentivizes him to roll it down here a bit. Yeah, that's actually a really smart roll down from Kevin. Ooh, it's an interesting stop to say, okay, you know what? I'm really, really close to Vander 3, so I am going to roll down for Vander 3, but 1 off Zeri, he doesn't want to drop below 50 because, I mean, every econ threshold you drop, that's HP you're losing out. He also realizes we're only a couple of rounds off minions, so it's not the end of the world. I mean, 2 big losses, though, could be really influential. I imagine he'll roll a good bit next round to try to find this Zeri 3. Augment here should be pretty fun as well. It'll be interesting to see if he ends up taking like a tank one, something, you know, like a Bulwark, or if he wants to take something else here. I'm actually curious to see, like an HP one would be really, really nice, I would think. Ooh, 15% combat start? Is this something you want? Whoa, wait, this is a really, really cool pickup here. He's gonna share your energy here. Combat start grant their 50% their AD, AP, health, armor, and MR to adjacent allies. It's a combat start. Does this, I mean, I guess, let me unmute Kevin here. Does this work with Guinsus? Is this the idea? I mean, I feel like he wouldn't take it if it didn't. I mean, to be fair, You are just getting like.
Okay, now I might be cooking a little too hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. I mean,
I might be overcooking it.
We will see. We will see. I mean, and then he does end up rolling down for the Zeri 3 here, finds it even above 50, which is fantastic for him. And now we can start looking at pushing levels, getting that echo in. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of wonder, because it says combat start, share the AD and AP. So I assume it only takes like all of those stats from the start of combat. Maybe if it does work with the Gwinsus, then it's insane, because, you know, sometimes it says combat start, but it doesn't really, like, I think, what is it called? Long distance. Does long distance say combat? Yeah, long distance says combat start. I think it works in the exact same way that long distance pals works. Wait, yeah, this is actually a giga cook from Kevin here. But yeah, LDP says combat start as well, but it just means the units that are next to each other at combat start. That's the Scar 3, by the way. That's the level up here. And there is also a kind of hilarious unit in our shop here, which is the Warwick. Right now, he's not stronger on our board. I think this is a great call from Kevin to say 3 Firelight, certainly stronger than playing the Warwick here. But you can see, especially now that we have the Scar 3, definitely this is something that we can look at being our next level up here. And we can get this, an Anger Issues Warwick, man. I mean, this game is just too sick to watch. This is TFT at its best. Weird anomalies, weird augments, playing around in weird ways. I mean, high rolling some stuff, because he could. I mean, I certainly think you do. Do you not level here? I would think you almost for sure level here, because it's kind of, I mean, I guess the idea though is that, like, it's so cheap to level. Okay, he is going to level here. I mean, I think this makes sense. Getting the Warwick in seems too good. But you do, obviously, you lose some investment strategy value. But, I mean, getting the Warwick in, being able to play for Streak, I feel like is so much combat strength here. Also, for some reason, my Twitch is lagging, but probably fine. Probably a no cat diff. But, I mean, you can see 12,000 damage for Zeri. 5K, very respectable for Mr. Warwick here as the 6 cost on the board. And, yeah, I mean, this is a spot where we obviously could look for something like a Kog'Maw 3, but I mean, I think it makes more sense in this spot, really, just to push levels. We only have the 3 Kog'Maws, now the 4 with the 1 in shop, so it's going to be pretty far for us to find Kog'Maw 3, and the other piece of this is that we don't have anything else left to roll for, right? We have Scar 3 at this point. We have even Vander 3 at this point. We obviously have the Zeri 3, so it's really, really hard for us to just say, like, okay, I'm going to roll down just for Kog'Maw. That sounds really bad. We're going to beat this player, lock in the top 4, go into Carousel here. Item does not really matter all that much, as long as, I mean, I guess you could take Automata. He's looking at it. I don't really think it's better than just taking a random item here. And yeah, I think Kevin does. He thinks about it for a while, and then he's like, what am I doing here? Like, I'd rather just have another Gwinsu than Automata on, like, just, I mean, yeah, I don't know that it really does that much in this spot. Like a third. I mean, I guess you can play for 4 then, but like, I mean, even then, I don't know. I don't know that it actually does that much. An interesting idea, though. Okay, gonna continue to position around. But yeah, this is cool. I wish you would like click on Zeri and I could just like see all of Zeri's stats, because the idea, like I was talking about with the long distance pal, is that as this Scar starts stacking up all of these stats with the Anger Issues, it's everything, right? It's the armor and MR. It's also the AD and AP that he gains stacking. All of that is also going over to all the other units. I mean, yeah, he said this might be an overcook, but I don't know. It actually seems really, really sick here to just transmit all of those stats to all those other units, unless it has weirder things have happened in TFT where, you know, maybe this augment says start of combat, share those things, but it actually works differently from another augment or this anomaly says that, but it works differently from an augment. I mean, if it did, would I be completely shocked? No. But does it make sense that it works the way I think it does? I think yes, as well. But all right. I mean, at this point, we're just looking at pushing levels here. We have a Malzahar that we could play with the idea of maybe. I mean, still, I'm not that excited for the other idea. I mean, you can look at like 6 Watcher type ideas. I think that's like the kind of traditional way of capping out this comp. But it's hard, right? You don't really want to. I mean, you certainly don't want to cut Firelight. I mean, even just a Garen on this board for now seems quite solid. Yeah, he's kind of awkward to position, though, because you obviously still want the Scar in the middle here. Take whatever item. This is just going to go onto... This is actually really smart as well from Kevin. He was talking about this, I think, during the game when he took the first augment, is that I still want triple Gwinsu Scar in this point, even at this point, even though this means that obviously Scar can't grab another one off of sponging. I don't care. I want to be triple Gwinsu Scar instead of double Gwinsu Scar, because he's so much of my tankiness. Also, like we talked about already, those stacks are really, really important for sharing everything with the other units, and still we can farm enough to get to everybody else. But yeah, push level 9 here. Just gonna play the double echo for now, which is kind of funny, but I mean, it's not so bad. And yeah, I mean, who really cares? Like I said, 6 Watcher, too hard to fit, right? You're not going to cut Firelight, and we certainly don't want to cut the Warwick here. So I don't know what we're actually going to add as our final unit here. I mean, random Ambusher is like probably kind of bad, but not horrible. Probably better than another random Echo that I don't think is doing too much here. But I mean, I guess he's flying around with the Firelight. Couldn't be too bad. I mean, he even ended up selling the Malzahar with the ideas like, who actually really cares about Malzahar? But yeah, I mean, we're coasting. It's also, I mean, everything scales so well together, right? Investment strategy, the HP, like this might be BIS. This might be Turbo BIS augments. Investment strategy to scale up your HP. Then the Anger Issues, he had a bunch of armor and MR and obviously attack speed, AD, and AP from the Guinsus. Then you take this Anomaly that shares all of those stats. And then you also take Sponging here, which shares all the Guinsus, and you just come up with just the Giga board here. Kevin also sees something just too good to pass up here, which is another Warwick on Carousel. Once again, we're kind of looking for, what's our last unit? What do we want to put in on this board? Why not the double Warwick setup here that are both getting buffed up by the Scar? I mean, I don't know. How can you dislike TFT? Like, how can you be cynical about TFT, I guess is my point, you know, when you are like, this game, it's all about playing broken stuff. Like, I mean, it is, but isn't this broken stuff just like too fun to watch? Like, it's just so cool seeing the Zeri pop off, the Scar sharing stats with everybody, the Warwicks, the double 6-cost Warwicks in the backline, dealing a combined 10,000 damage. We have level 10 that we could push, but I mean, like, honestly, I mean, this guy's 6 HP. I think this game is about to be over here before we even get to stage 7, because I don't see how Kevin can even lose a fight. I mean, maybe this guy's... Oh my God. He's not. He didn't do it, man. This guy, he's actually BMing. He took out the Zeri 3 just so that he can BM and try to push level 10 so he can get like a Warwick 2 on his board is, I guess, what he's looking for. Honestly, this fight is surprisingly close. Oh my God, wait. Did he still win this fight? Oh my God. He took out Zeri 3 and he's still... I mean, it's Zeri 3 is not even broken. I think this was just broken. I mean, that's just a hilarious game. Hilarious entire game with a hilarious finish. So hope you guys enjoyed this VOD. As always, please interact with the video. Like if you enjoyed the video, comment your thoughts on this crazy setup and other maybe crazy setups. If you have some kind of secret tech when you're in another portal or this portal, let me know. Subscribe if you enjoy the channel. Check out my Metafy if you're interested in coaching, so I can tell you to play this comp in triple prismatic lobbies, and check out my Twitch as well, where I stream sometimes. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.